Evening all, Mickey
Hey,
here
Mick.
and Jace. Welcome to Hampton Doors of Survival. Hope you're all feeling good. Hi, John. Got Jace on with us tonight because he's done a special video on his channel today. Released it today. I've shared it on the channel if anybody wants to go and have a look at it. Well,
A little surprise for you in a minute, John.
a little surprise. So, at the end of the day, Jace is a man of his words, so he did the scone thing and all the rest of it, and of course there's been a bit of banter flowing across the Atlantic backwards and forwards over scones and biscuits and all the rest of it. So Jace has actually gone out on his channel today. Suggest you go over and have a look. Money Ruts, dive over, have a look at that, and yeah, see what you think. Great recipe.
Yeah.
Really good recipe. Really good recipe. Dirty Faces, hiya, mate.
Dirty Faces.
Katrina, hiya. Now, we've got no Kaz with us tonight. She's feeling a bit off colour. So I expect she's going to be following it on her phone if she can. But yeah, she's feeling a little bit under the weather. She didn't feel like sort of coming up here, sitting here, and making it, having to
Kitten colour.
push ourselves beyond comfort. So she's curled up on the sofa. Hey, you mate. Hey, Kitten. Hope you're good, mate. Yeah, power to the people. Hey, look at this, guys. Look at this, right? Mick can get up. I can bend forward. I can almost do a squat. I can suck it in now. I can blow it out. I can suck it in. Movements getting. Don't get me wrong. I can still feel it. I can still feel it bad. The bruising's gone down about 80% now. Just give you an idea.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Hey, Katrina, look away.
Yeah, you don't need to see any more than that. Well bruised.
Oh, that's my chair.
Knocking things over. But yeah, it's getting better. Colours come back as well. I still can't eat properly. Still eating tiny little portions. I'm pretty sure they put a tummy band in there while they were there.
That would no bad thing, really.
Stapled my belly. Blimey, where did all these comments come from? Hi, guys. Sort of look away, look back.
Yeah, they're all there. They're all coming in now, you see.
This is what happens when you drop your trousers.
Well, yeah.
It's, yeah. Yeah, Jess, it's all going well. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing burpees for a little while. TJ, hiya, brother. Hope you're really good. Yeah, so what we've been up to? Well, I've been taking it easy all week. I haven't done a lot of it.
We had snow yesterday.
We did have snow yesterday. It lasted an hour. A whole hour of snow. It's a blizzard. It went to hell here.
The roads were on the way home. The roads were an absolute nightmare. Traffic everywhere.
Yeah. People panicking, panic buying.
All for that hour.
Yeah. There was queues at the petrol station.
There's no toilet rolls left.
Not a toilet roll left.
No.
But we survived that 1 hour.
Yeah, we did.
Did we die? No, we didn't. Yeah, I know, Katrina. You got snubbed there all day. My friends in Yorkshire and that be going, "Hey, look, we got 1.5 foot, 2 foot." Yeah. Cheers, guys. Rub my nose in it. Poor old John's there in -4. Yeah, so he's got it a bit rough out there. Here today, it's been about 7 or 8 degrees here today and wet. I mean, absolutely.
Oh, it's horrendous.
Bloody miserable all day. It has done nothing but chuck it down. TJ, yeah. Kaz is feeling under the weather at the moment. She's curled up on the sofa, to be honest. She's downstairs, tucked up on the sofa. She's got a blanket over her. Willow's with her. She might well be following it on her phone. I don't know. Or she might even be catching some Z-Sport, little soul. But there we go. So Jace has finished off what he was doing today, charged over, come over like a speeding rhino across the South African savannah, screeched to a halt, jumped out the Range Rover, charged in, grabbed a quick cup of tea. Funny enough, that's one thing I didn't think about. Cup of tea, cup of coffee. We're on water tonight. We did a quick review of his video, which he's just put up today. And I said to him, well, Kaz isn't with me tonight. Do you want to join me and
in the Alps,
have a chat? Hi, Alps. Shall we?
Yeah, you can do. Yes, right.
Yeah,
so
come
guys,
on then.
go on. So This is for really, it's for our American friends. We've been on about it. For those of you who do know about the banter between me and John and his scones, and his biscuits are scones. Okay, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to try the recipe. I've never had biscuits and gravy, so we went with it. Those of you who've seen the video, I hope you enjoyed it. Those of you who haven't, I'm not going to spoil too much, but
I have.
Mitch's, I've done a bit what I've got here for Mitch, so he can have a taste tester.
I've had biscuits and gravy, and I know already that I like biscuits and gravy.
So this would be. Well, let's get a nice shot there. There you go. Biscuits and gravy. The first one, that's just traditional. I've looked online. There's loads of different recipes. Looked online. I went with sort of like a generic style one to start off with.
The biscuit, nice, fluffy, got a little bit of flake to it, like that. Nice, actually very, very nice. Right, so when you look at the biscuits, nice bit of crumb there, nice bit of flake to it. My friend Dave would scream at me, but he always would. I'll try to do it like he used to. He used to take his biscuit, break his biscuit up, and then he'd literally mop his gravy up in it. And the gravy, yeah. So I remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought it was quite nice as well.
It is.
I didn't.
Right. The gravy itself. A lot of people in Britain go, "Oh, gravy's got to be brown." Well, you think about it, it's pioneer food. This whole recipe goes back to people travelling across the prairies and that. You were carrying minimal resources. You'd have been carrying things like bacon because it's cured, smoked, and that you could carry it and store it. Flour, obviously. You'd have kept the grease.
You'd have had the cow in amongst your herd anyway.
You'd have had cattle with you, so you'd got milk. So things like biscuits and gravy were a simple staple. It was good, honest, stick to your ribs, keep you going, survival food. And I actually really, really, really enjoy it. It was an endearing experience for me. And I will say, Chase, yeah, you pretty much nailed it, mate. To my American friends, I have had it with you, and I will say he's nailed it.
That's that one. But I thought, well, that's the easier option, and then I got me old chefy head on. Don't eat too much of that, for God's sake, man. And I got my chefy head on, and I got a bit fancy, so I cooked some using some lovely smoked lardons. There's a nice poached egg on top, some roasted tomatoes, and some chives to finish it off. Onions in with the sauce, which generally notice people don't do, but that one is absolutely gorgeous.
So you decided
gives you a spoon, right?
Zest it up a bit.
The egg. Oh, look, that's when you know it's a nice egg. Look at that run. Anyway,
I do like a good poached egg. Right, okay, so what do I think of this? Honest opinion. Right, I'll tell you what I will say to you straight away. That one, the basic recipe, good fiver at a good calf restaurant, good breakfast dish to set you up for the day.
Yeah.
This one, with a bit of arty-fartiness, you probably find in Harrods for $99.99 or something.
Right, the way it works, guys, okay, so the other one, maybe £5, I think, right? So, in a restaurant, I've put tomatoes on there, that's an extra £5. Put poached egg on, that's another £5. So we're at 20 quid now. I've even put a bit of garnish on there, that's £5, that's £25 straight away. Before we even gone any further.
So there you go. That's from the chef. That's how they do it. Actually, that's quite nice. So,
I also put a bit of Cajun seasoning in with the gravy as well.
Notice that. And the lardons.
Yeah.
A bit more bacony.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not even going to bother with the roasted tomatoes.
No, you don't need that. That's just for garnish. It was just me being
garnish. But I'm not going to waste that poached egg. And I'm definitely not.
So
Do you know what, actually? I don't know. Tell me, my American friends, tell me, how do you season up your gravy? I mean, that's got a bit of Cajun seasoning in it, and it's just got a little bit of heat right at the back of the tongue. Very, very nice.
Evening Yorkshire Outlaws and Survival.
Hiya, Sam. How you doing? Right, so
Evening Sticks, by the way. Sorry, I'm being rude there.
Evening Sticks. Very food orientated tonight. I don't know if any of you have seen Benny's video or the Ball Duck Challenge.
Oh, that's an
Interesting.
I will be giving that a go as well.
Yeah.
I will do a little one on that.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to have to do, I think I'm going to have to challenge some of my mates. If I'm going to do it,
I'll
have to challenge some of the other lads.
Absolutely.
Who we got on here then? Let's have a look. Pick some names at random. Ball Duck Noodle Challenge. Right, Sticks is already on the challenge. Let's come down. Kiwi, Yops, and Yorkshire Outdoors. Yeah, right. So Yorkshire Outdoors and Survival, Yops Outdoors, who else did I say? Kiwi.
Sticks are already down in the list.
Yeah. Okay. We will have. I don't know.
Yops.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my three. I challenged those three to have a go at the Ball Duck hot noodle challenge themselves. So the idea of this challenge is you only have to do half a pot, but you've got to be seen to do half a pot like Benny did. Preferably done outside. Although in all honesty to you guys, I'll probably end up having to do it in here because of my condition at the moment. But yeah, let's give it a go. And when you do it, challenge somebody else.
Sticks has already ordered it.
Good man. Got to be done. All a bit of fun.
Oh, Yorkshire Outdoors Survival's down with pleurisy at the moment.
You're down with flu, Sam? Oh, mate. What you need, Sam, is some good hot noodles. That will
sort you out. Yeah.
Stop your caring about it. Oh, that's. You know what, guys? I could just sit here and polish that off, but I'm not going to because that would be rude.
I would be.
Oh, so yeah, that was absolutely. So there we go. Biscuits and gravy. Dive over to Jason's channel, Muddy Ruts there. Have a look, see the recipe, have a go yourself. It is quite a simple recipe. It's good old-fashioned staple food. Might even see about that at the camp next time round, maybe for one of the breakfasts.
Yeah, it's a very easy dish to do, even on camp. Really easy.
Yeah. Katrina's submitted her last assignment today. Excellent.
TJ Pockets, it's all about the budgets, mate, and these army camps, unfortunately. It's not the chef's fault half the time, it's what they got to cook with.
What they got to work with, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what they got to work with.
Yeah. Anyhow, so basically, when you're coming to do things like this, you've got to think about it carefully. I mean, you can say to yourself, like, how much have you got? Well, you could go with the basic.
Yeah. Rule of thumb.
Basic rule of thumb is that basically, I mean, at the moment, I think it's something like 13 pence a head, is it, per meal? Something like that.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, about 13 pence a head per meal. It's a bit of a joke, really. Let's face it. Let's go back. Let's take the British Army. Let's do something sensible. Let's go back. We've trained chefs and catering within the British Army. Let's take the civilian staff under the wing of a cook sergeant. Let's have some proper chefs, military trained chefs in the kitchen, running the kitchens, organising the meals and the food for the guys. Let's get back to a system where you walked in and the cook sergeant looked at you and went, son, you need to put a few pounds on, or you need to take a few pounds off.
I've seen that before.
That was good. And the beauty of that was then, under the old system, you went to the cookhouse 3 times a day. You got 3 square meals. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. You got 3 square meals. Today, pay as you eat or pay as you dine.
Well, no, because they've done that. They've done away with that in a sense now. Yeah. They still pay as you dine. But whereas the catering companies will try and make a small profit on the food, now they sell everything at cost.
Yeah.
So they're not allowed to make any money on food anymore.
Good. So it should be.
It's brought the cost of the food down for
they're already getting paid for the contract, aren't they? That's the thing at the end of the day. They put in for the contract, say we want X to run the catering for the British Army there, and then they tried to rip the bum out of it basically and make even more profit. Well, sorry, the only person that suffered really, as Jace will tell you, was the poor old squaddy and the guys that were trying to provide them with good, honest food.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I can't see anything more frustrating.
High life's a hobby.
I can't see anything more frustrating for a chef than being told you're going to feed 500 guys today and this is what you got. And you look at it and go, that's crap.
You can't do it.
Because if there's one person that knows what's put in front of them to give the guys, it's the chef. You want to be good at your trade, good at your skill, and be able to do well at it. and shine. Hiya, Bushcraft Rebooted. Hiya, mate. How you doing? Good. So, right, because I haven't got Kaz with me today, you're going to see plenty of this. I'm going to be diving backwards and forwards. We will be doing a quiz today, guys, as well. Our mate, Life's a Hobby, setting that up. So somewhere around 2045, 2050, 2055, the questions will start coming in and we'll have a little bit of a quiz. And it's just a friendly quiz for a bit of a giggle, for a bit of a laugh. There's no prizes. All there is pride. We did the last quiz just before Christmas, I think we did it. And that was Life's a Hobby's gone back, watched the video all the way through, looked at all the questions, looked at all the answers. And that one was won by Kitten Killer. So, Stuart, well done, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Roman Ray, hiya, brother. Hope you're good out there. Yeah, exactly that, Jess. Exactly that. A balanced diet. And let's face it, the other problem is, of course, you look at young squaddies, and I most of my career has been working with the younger squaddies or on the training side and recruit side. So, a lot of young men, okay, from 16 through to their mid-20s. These are young men and women. Okay, mustn't forget the women. They're not always going to think to themselves, do you know what? I need to eat one meat and 2 veg tonight. No, they're not. They're going to sit there and do what we all would do in that situation. Go, do you know what? Pizza? I'll have a bit of pizza. I'll have a portion of chips. You know, because who doesn't like a bit of pizza and a portion of chips?
You're right, Lee.
You know, so again, it's getting back to that thing where, yeah, there are treats. There were always treats. I mean, blimey, I've never had so many gattos as when I was in. I may have been a gatto eating champion, but there we go. One of my claims to fame, that unfortunately, it was held a record for eating a catering sized Black Forest gatto. Had to be done hands tied behind your back, one sitting, and you were allowed one assistant to hold the back of your head whilst you went round the tray. And you weren't allowed off the tray till it was gone. And I think it came down to something like 6.5 minutes.
I bet you suffered.
Just in case anybody's eating, I'm not going to say what happened to me afterwards, but I tell you what, I was tasting Black Forest gatto for 3 or 4 days. Up my nose, in my ears, everywhere. But we won. That's all that matters. Yeah, the Marines might be able to yomp and the Paris might be able to tab. Neither of you can beat me at a Black Forest. So, yeah, there we go. No problem getting. So, where are we going? I'll go back to the comments. I'll go through the comments. Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Jace, just to get this straight. The MOD does not have cooks. And they outsource to feed the troops as soon as like security issue waiting home. Yeah, Jason said that for years. He has said that for years. It's a security issue waiting to happen. Really and truthfully, in my book, once you go into a military establishment, that's everybody in there should be pretty much name, date of birth, registered, checked, backgrounds. When I first went in as a civilian, that's what happened to me. Background checks went back. Parents, grandparents, brothers, cousins, uncles, the lot were checked. I mean, all right, I was dealing with firearms, but you know, you had a thorough check and you were checked regularly thereafter. And you were told right when you signed those documents, when you signed on that dotted line, commit a criminal offence, you've got to come in and you've got to tell us about it. Driving offences, you've got to come in. Yep. You've got to tell us about it. If you tell us about it, we can sort it out. It ain't a problem. You know, obviously some offences, you're up the road. But again, as long as, you know, if you got stopped for speeding, you had to notify the camp, the colonel, and they would then go through the military police investigations branch and that. Was he speeding? Was he drink driving and all the rest of it? Because it's a security issue. If you can't trust people to do simple little things, then, you know, where does it go? It's a slippery path, isn't it?
And like all things, the saddest thing is most of these companies were set up by ex-military people who were just scamming the government.
They were after that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a boys' club.
Yeah, that was the problem, and that's getting killed off. That's been getting killed off pretty much since the tail end of Afghanistan. As as guys that were originally corporals and sergeants and that have risen through the ranks and risen through the authority and started to come into positions of power, become more senior. A lot of what went on before, the bad old stuff, especially if you hit the top button.
Got it.
No, you might even be the bottom button.
No, it's not. It's top.
It's the top one.
Oh, don't worry about it. You carry on.
Good shove. Yeah, it's all right. Just try to set up some lighting for Jace.
I'm in the dark.
Hang on.
Has
Has
it been unplugged?
No, it'll be on.
Oh, right. Fucking bloody technology of a button. That's it. There you go. Bit of light.
Yeah.
See my gorgeous face.
Yeah. People are starting to, change the system. And, yeah, you've got people that know what's needed by the boots on the ground now that are in positions to say that's what they require. Which, is always a battle because there's always somebody, a bean counter somewhere to go, oh, well, no, I don't know.
They still have those, TJ, where they come on camp and sell you trainers and bits and pieces. They still do get them. And again, that must be some sort of deal they've got with the commanding officer, probably.
Yeah, we still get that. We had on our facility at one point we used to have like for night shoots. All right, so you got a night shoot, you got anything from 50 to 200 guys on the range for the night shoot, and they're going to be sat around all evening. So quite often, what they do, they'd go and get the scoff at the cookhouse, come back down, and after an hour or two, somebody'd go pig run. And I got it sussed with the local pizza place, the local kebab shop, and the local chippy takeaway that they deliver to the gates, because literally you came off my range, crossed the track, and there was a gate to the road. And I'll give them the number, and these guys could phone up, do an order, and it would be brought to the gate for them. It was good business for the local companies, and the guys enjoyed it. They appreciated it. It was as simple as that. It was the other thing was it was sorting out things like, and in my day, a lot of the guys used to do it. So for me, I used to. I'm not going to talk too much about the job, but my basic morning would be get all the rangers ready and then sit and wait for the guys to come up. They'd come in, safety brief them, find out what they were doing, go through whether they could do it, couldn't do it, what they wanted, what they required, what they needed, and so on, and set them up for the day. But I always made sure there was a Burco boiler going, coffee, and I like filter coffee, so I used to always have a percolator going, selection of teas, milk, sugar, and all the rest of it, some cheap biscuits, and I'd bring all the safety staff in, give them a brew, give them a wet, get them sat down, break the ice, get them relaxed with me, because a lot of people would turn up on the range and there'd be some grumpy old miserable get there. Hey, you're not doing this, don't walk on my grass, don't do that. No, I didn't want I wanted these guys to get the most out of their day. So my attitude was, come in, guys, sit down, get a brew. Right, what do you need to do? You can't do that here. We don't have the template for it.
Excuse me, mate. Chronically outdoors, okay, you should know by now, Santa's not just for Christmas.
He's 365 days a year.
Exactly.
He's like a puppy.
Exactly. You've got to just keep feeding him, he'll keep coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that was the way I'd do it. And I'd sort out brews in the summer when it was really hot. I'm not saying that occasionally I might go into Booker's and buy half a dozen slabs of Coke, sling them in a fridge, and bang them out to the guys. But I'll be honest with you,
on the ranges though, there was nothing else for them around the place.
Never made a profit on it. It used to literally go out on what it cost me. But as long as I didn't lose out, I didn't really care. It made people happy. But
for those who have just asked, Kaz is not 100% at the moment, so she's just curled up on the sofa. Okay, she's all right. But...
She's curled up. She'll be fine. She just got a bit of a chill. She went out, had an adventure on her mobility scooter, and I think what's happened, I think the cold weather's got to her a little bit, given her a little bit of a shock, and made her feel a bit under the weather. Me. I'm doing well. I'm doing, Jace, to tell you, I'm bouncing back. The colour's coming back into my cheeks. Can't eat quite as well as I used to. In fact, that little bit that I've eaten there, I'm now absolutely bloated. But I'm getting better. The movement's a lot easier, a lot freer now. I can sit a little bit more comfortable. In actual fact, this week I'm going to do a video. There'll be a video from here. I'm hoping next week, if Jace is available one afternoon, to go up the woods and actually get up the woods, see the guys up the woods, do a video from up the woods, even if it's just a simple, I'm back out here in the countryside. Because, yeah, you get a bit stir crazy, don't you? You get a little bit stir crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I do feel good. I do feel good. And I got to say, that is down to three things, to be honest with you. That is down to the love of a fantastic wife who has gone way above and beyond in my care. That's the support of good mates, Jace, support my sons, and that's been a big worry off my shoulders whilst this has been going on, where I couldn't do things, and I still can't. Jace, I can't lift any weight at all. But it's knowing I can just pick the phone up and go, could you just? So I'm going to owe him a big old slap up meal when this is over. And of course, you guys, it's getting up every day. All the good wishes, all the support, all the thoughts from other people, the videos that people put up, give me something to watch, something to look forward to. You'd be surprised how you sit there for the first week and a half, literally stuck in bed.
Evening, Mac.
It was miserable, absolute bloody misery. I don't like to be immobile, but knowing that I had something to look forward to and to watch just kept my mind off of how I felt. Again, another person's support wise, Mac, knowing that I could pick the phone up, literally at any point and go, Mac, I need help. And he would be here. Even if it meant he's a good 10 miles away, he'd tab over here with a drop of a hat to help out. So again, that sort of thing is what's got me through it. Moving forward, well, try not to think about it too much. We'll see what happens after the 17th, but we'll deal with that battle as we come to it.
TJ Pockets wants to know, you reckon you'll be fit enough for April?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping I'm fit enough for April. I'm actually, my goal is to, in realistic terms, okay, after speaking to the surgeons and speaking to the experts, they can't see why I can't do the way in May, although they've said to me they don't know that I'll be able to manage the entire distance. So I am going to aim at doing as much of the distance as possible. If I can do the entire walk, I will. But if not, then I will support roll both Sticks and Owen all the way through it. In other words, I will be there. I will be camping in the field with them. But what I might be doing is moving the vehicle up, setting up camps 1 or 2 days of the trip. But I will be there. I intend to if I can, if I could possibly do it, I want to walk that 129k. I want to arrive at Avebury with my hands in the air, punching the sky, knowing that I've done it. But yeah, we just got to move forward and see how we go. Yeah, it's all. Life's a battle, life is a battle. We all have battles. I mean, mine aren't as bad as nowhere near as bad as some others. I've got this love and support around me. And it doesn't have to be a physical battle either. I've got lots of people I know that suffer mentally, whether it be with stress, whether it be with PTSD, maybe just be with getting through the day. And those people I feel for more than myself, because it can be a struggle. Oh, it does have to be way in May. It does have to be way in May. It's my goal. Set myself a goal, march to the goal. Okay, it's as simple as that. You've got to have things to focus on. And the nearest person to me that way is probably Mac. We set goals, we set targets. I intend to do, and then you do. Okay, if you don't have the goals, then you start to drift around a little bit, or I do. I will start to drift off to other things, which is not what I want to do.
John wants to know when is the April event. He's got a South Alabama gathering with Blackie, whoever that is, or whatever organisation that is.
Yeah.
All right. 7th through to the 13th. Maybe
that would be cool.
Maybe he'll do a virtual meetup.
That would be cool. Definitely, John. Definitely. I follow Blackie Thomas myself. He's a great guy. Like his stuff. What we'll do, we'll set something up. We'll set up some sort of virtual meeting there. Because again, I'd like to be able to congratulate him face to face and tell the guy, brilliant. I think what he's doing is fantastic. Bull Shoals, hiya, mate. Hey, Missouri, USA. Yeah, Ozark Mountains. Every time I see that, I think to myself, it just got an image up there. Higher from the Ozark Mountains. I'm just like, why am I not in the Ozarks?
I bet they're snow-capped as well, aren't they?
I bet they're stunning.
I bet they're amazing.
Yeah. Not like around here at the moment. At the moment, around here, it's
fucking wet and horrible.
Yeah, just miserable.
Excuse my language.
Miserable as sin. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. So I was on a Bushcraft Rebooted live this morning. So he does a couple of lives. I think it's a Friday evening and a Sunday morning. Absolutely worth a visit, guys. Dive over there, show him some love and support. Brilliant lives, great fun. Blizzard in Missouri. Oh, at least you're getting some snow. We had snow. We had a blizzard yesterday.
It was so deep. It was at least a thumbs rule of thumbs measure.
yeah. Caused panic, pandemonium, queuing at the pumps
for a whole hour. And it disappeared.
Yeah. Yorkshire's snowed in. Yeah, that's the thing with Britain, isn't it? It's 4th of April to Monday the 7th. Yep. Okie doke. No, it's Bushcraft Rebooted. One of the things we like to do with this channel is to help others. So again, it's if we don't share, then people don't know. So it's a case of what I try and do is I try and let other people or help other people, help other channels, especially channels I enjoy, encourages other people to keep going. I remember what it was like when I only had a few subscribers and you're sitting there some days thinking, why am I doing this? Or you do a live and there's only 2 people on it. And you think, why am I making this effort? But the truth of the matter is just keep going at it because people will find you. That's the truth of the matter. Okay. It's one of those things. People will find you. They like you. They will stick with you, and it grows. And the next thing you know, like myself at the moment, you find yourself in a situation where it all starts off with, one afternoon a week I'll do my YouTube thing. Next thing you know, it's 2 or 3 days a week, and then it becomes 5 days a week, and then it's 7 days a week. You're pretty much either looking at other people's videos or thinking about making your videos and so on. It can become a bit of an ogre sometimes. Sometimes you've got to give it a bit of a slap and go, get down, YouTube, get down.
Benny got stuck in the snow.
Benny got stuck in the snow?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Don't laugh.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm not jealous, Benny.
We'd love to try and get stuck in the snow.
Yeah. When was the last time you got stuck in snow?
I can't say I ever have, to be honest, but
Me neither. I don't think not here anyhow. Yeah. So exactly that. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's try and support one another. I learn from one another as well. We got so many different people here, so many different characters from around the world. So we've got people living in lots of different environments, lots of different places, different technologies, different methodologies, different systems, different kit, different gear to carry. And again, that's a way of gaining knowledge. If you live somewhere, so if you have somebody that lives in a desert environment, and you might be looking at going and visiting said environment, there's a link. There's somebody that can give you all the advice you're going to need, what to wear, what to carry, what to expect from the conditions and so forth. So again, through your channel, you can ask people. One of the great things is being able to turn around somebody and say, just out of odd sake, I'm going to Utah. I'm going to be in this area of Utah. Can anybody recommend somewhere to stay? What the conditions are like? What do you suggest that I take with me or I should have with me? And those, it's that sort of information that really then makes your adventure so much better. Likewise, I get people message me, I'm coming to visit the UK. I'm going to such and such area. Can you recommend somewhere? Can you recommend somewhere to visit? Then I turn around and say, what's your hobbies? It's no good them saying to me, I'm coming to Hampshire. to see where my family grew up, but I want to visit some places. And then me going, oh yeah, you want to visit this military museum, that military museum, that military museum, and find they absolutely loathe the military. But if I know what they're interested in through my local knowledge, I can then point them in the right direction. Same thing with the bushcraft, and exactly the same thing with the survival world. It's being able to gain that knowledge, that technology, and ask those questions. Because we all have very different systems and methods and ideas. It's the fun of it. Being able to share.
Lee had an igloo collapse one he built for some kids about 5 years ago. Obviously, didn't.
Yeah.
Wrong type of snow, obviously, Lee.
Bushcraft rebooted. No, but I tell you what, you say that nobody wants a skydiver at the moment. No, maybe they don't. But I tell you what, a lot of us are interested in it. I mean, it's something.
Don't look at me.
It's not something you're going to get me to do. I've been up in plenty of aircraft, and no.
Matt might be interested again.
Yeah. But again, it's also it's perspective, isn't it? It's like you were talking on your channel and you were saying about packing. Now that fascinates me. How the parachute's packed, put away, how it's set up. Because let's face it, the last thing you want when you pull that ripcord or the chute goes to open is to find that somebody's just rolled it up willy-nilly and you ended up with a candle. So again, it's skill sets, it's technologies, it's ideas, it's methods, and they all have a place. So you're probably somebody that's quite good with and has the patience for setting out rigging lines and laying things out correctly, which also means you're probably somebody that would pick up things like net making and stuff like that quite fast. So there's an old skill, but translates to so much stuff, whether it be making fishing nets, whether it be making a hammock and things like that. It's so many different skill sets in it.
Yeah, Outdoors Apprentice, I'm too heavy for skydiving as well. You'd need the cargo parachutes for me, at least 4 of them, I think.
Like heavy drop chase.
Yeah, heavy drop chase.
That could be your nickname. They could start calling him HD.
They just
heavy drop.
Because they'd never push me out, so they'd have to strap me to a pallet and roll me off the back.
Screaming as he goes out the back of the hurt. Hurt goes up 3,000 feet as he leaves the back of it. Pilot's like, whoa, like that. Engines start roaring. Oh, we can back the throttles off a bit now. Sorry, brother.
Oh, good evening, Source Code. Source Code's just come on.
Oh, yeah, Source Code. How you doing, mate? Hope you're good. Hope life's treating you well. We're just chatting about skill sets at the moment and how different skill sets are so important and how the different things that we pick up through life, just different methodologies. And again, Bushcraft rebooted this morning. I watched his live. Do you know what? Afterwards, I said, Caroline, go on, source me a slingshot. I've done a slingshot in donkey's years. It's something I used to do a little bit of when I was a kid. I was like, do you know what? Let's get back into that. Let's find a couple of methods. Because again, if you're a survivalist or you're a prepper and you're looking at something that could possibly put a bit of food on the table, I'll be honest with you, slingshot is a damn good idea, especially small game wise. Where I grew up, we had a travelling family near us, and I was friends with their kids. And where I'd go out with an air rifle, their boys would go out with a slingshot, and they'd probably account for just as many rabbits with the slingshot as I ever did with the air rifle. So again, and it's a simple thing to pick up. It's a simple thing to learn. There's no license required. It's just a matter of being safe and sensible. Practice, 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 and you develop a system that's going to bring you food. And I'm not saying it could be used defensively because that would be illegal, but it's obvious that, if it was a zombie apocalypse, you could probably use it as a defense. Just hit them in the head. Because zombies don't like that. Apparently
not.
No. Yeah. So again, it's sometimes looking back to our childhood as well.
Evening stuff. Car camping.
We got onto the whole thing about fishing. Me and a couple of lads were talking about why do people love fishing? What's the thing about fishing? Well, I tell you what, especially carp angling. Carp angling is prepping, camping, survivalist skills all rolled into one. You're going to go sit by a lake for Some guys do it for a couple of days. Some guys do it for a couple of weeks. I've known guys that do it for months on end and will literally set up their camp by the lake and fish. Brilliant. Brilliant. I get it. I'm a fisherman myself. I can see it and I understand it. It's great fun. Yeah, that's a fair trade, Jay. TJ, you sort out the rabbits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to some scam for food. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Mac's done a 4-month session. You did say, didn't you, Benny? You caught the was it the orange cod or something, wasn't it? I think it's the orange cod.
Must be some sort of factory nearby.
Rodden and net. Oh, sauce. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. Oh, it's stitches. Ah.
Rodden and net. Oh, jeez, I saw that.
Ah, that's good.
Oh, very good one.
Very good. Oh dear, twinges. That's the one thing I can't do too well at the moment. Those sort of sudden random outbursts of laughter, coughing, sneezing, and occasionally passing wind are uncomfortable as well. Yeah, fishing. I mean, fishing, let's face it, teaches patience, doesn't it? The love of the outdoors. Just there's nothing nicer than just sat by a lake or a river, just enjoying being at one with nature. It's that quiet time.
I went with my son once, my oldest son once. I don't fish. I've not got an interest in fishing, but I do like the outdoors. But I sat there, I was watching him, and for the 4 hours that I could stand, the heron across the other side of the lake caught more fish than he did. In fact, he didn't catch bloody anything.
Don't always have to catch something, that's the thing. Oh, it does. It does. I've got no wigs in this house. We don't allow wigs in this house for obvious reasons. No, it's a bit unfair. Yeah, it's part of the pleasure of it, isn't it? It's part of the pleasure. Yeah, call it fishing, not catching. Exactly that. Exactly that. Sometimes it's just about being there. And that's
Katrina's got to go. She's gone.
Katrina, have a great week, my love. Have a great week. Look after yourself. Lovely to see you. yeah, not nicest tasting fish, Mac. Nah, not my sort of thing. Yeah, catching and eating. Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for that, depending on the species. Because let's face it, a lot of the species in Great Britain, a lot of the waterways, you wouldn't really want to eat anything that you caught out of it. Yeah, it's really, truthfully. But in a survival situation, of course you would. Of course you would. But again, it's that challenge, isn't it? If you've caught the fish, you've landed the fish, and you release the fish, you just think of it this way: I'm hunting without killing anything. I've succeeded. It's like I say to people when I encourage people these days, and they say to me they want to go out and know what it's like to track and hunt a deer, and I say to them, get yourself a camera, get yourself a good still camera, okay? Don't go for something with a massive lens. Get something simple and basic and go out and get a photograph on that. Okay. If you can get close enough to that deer to get a photograph with that camera, then you've stalked that deer. If you then had a rifle, decent rifle, you've been taught to use it with a scope, you'd have put that deer on the table. And a lot of people get into this whole thing of, oh, I'm going to survive off a deer come the apocalypse, especially in the UK. Now, it's fine thinking like that. But if it's only you because you're doing your lone wolf thing, that's a lot of meat. You've got to know how to preserve, look after the meat. In actual fact, in those situations, I think people are far better off living off things like squirrel, rabbit, duck, smaller things that are easily more sustainable, easily more managed, will give you the protein you require. And let's face it, you're not going to have protein every single day. So it makes a little bit more sense. The other thing is a lot of people don't realise that if you take a deer It's not as simple as just knocking the deer over and then chopping a leg off of it and taking it back. The whole gralloching process, preparation, looking after a store and a meat is quite in depth. If you live somewhere where you can subsist, i.e., you're going to bring it back, put it in a freezer, which is what I used to do. I mean, a good deer carcass would do me and my family for months on end, because I would prepare it, sort it, bring it back, joint it, and it would all go in the freezer. And there would be everything there, for meat for casseroles, meat for stews, meat for joints, and so on and so on, right down to the neck, the whole lot. Nothing wasted. But it takes work, it takes knowledge, it's a skill that has to be learned. I had somebody recently say to me, doing a deer is no different to doing a bunny rabbit. In theory, yeah, I'll agree with you. In practice, ain't so much so. Ain't so much so. There is that argument chronically. Yeah, elk crop. I agree with you, mate. But at the end of the day, like I say, a lot of the rivers around here, you wouldn't really want to eat something out of the rivers. But again, if you're practicing your skills, yeah, you're practicing your skills, aren't you? A catch is a catch. And again, it's just being out indoors with nature. Game preparation, yeah, there's a lot of courses you can do on game preparation. There's a lot of legal requirement now, especially in preparing game, especially if you're going to. I mean, I can still go out, take a deer, drop a deer, because I've not done the updates and kept my paperwork up together. I could do that legally, and I can keep it for my own consumption. But I couldn't actually turn around to Jason and go, "There's a leg of venison, mate.
Can't touch it.
Can't touch it. Can't put it into the food chain." Okay. Same thing with rabbits. Same thing with a lot of small game now. You've got to have that meat and hygiene handling certificate. You've got to have that piece of paper that says you know what you're doing, and B, you know how to handle it, prepare it, and keep the right records to it. So yeah, and that's vitally important these days. Just a quick one. I had 2 or 3 years ago, no, longer than that ago, it must be 10 years ago now. We had an issue down here in the south, down in the New Forest, and a guy walked into a vet's with his dog. His dog's dying. Okay, the other dog's in the car. It's already dead. And it turned out this guy is one of these people that will pick up stuff from the side of the road. Okay, no harm in that. Done it myself when I've seen it hit. But he hadn't seen it hit. What he saw was a deer carcass at the side of the road. Went, oh, blimey, walked over, put his hand on it. It's still warm. It's a bit of a mistake to make. Picked it up, threw it in the back of the car, took it home, gutted it, cleaned it, gave the dogs a liver, thought nothing more of it. Okay. What he didn't realise, that a veterinary nurse had been called out to euthanize that deer. Okay, now what's supposed to happen, and she wasn't aware of this because she's only just starting in her career, she's supposed to euthanize the deer and the carcass is supposed to then remove, because the chemicals that she's used to euthanize the deer remain in the liver, the kidney, and are extremely toxic. Okay, so anyhow, he's at the vet's. One dog's dead, the second dog's dying. They start going through what's it had and what's it eaten in the last 24 hours. And he went, well, just had a bit of fresh deer liver. And the story came out. 2 and 2 were put together, and it turned out that that's what had happened. They then had to get hold of people, because what he'd also done was then turn around and phoned all his mates and gone, I've got some venison here. Do you want a haunch? Do you want this? Do you want that? And parcelled it out to people, and they had to go and make sure that the whole lot was collected back in. So again, the whole legality behind and sensibility behind what you can take, you have to be very, very careful with, because again, you don't know why that animal's down, and it can be that animal's down not just because it's been clouted by a car. It could collapse by the side of the road because it's diseased. And there are 2 or 3 quite nasty diseases that you can catch from deer. So again, if you're not trained to check the liver for things like liver fluke, you're not check the lymph nodes and things like that, you've got to be a little bit cautious and careful. So go and do the courses, get the training. It is worth it. Let's have a look. All having a chat with one another. Lovely. All having a chat with one another. That's nice to see. Lee Michelle, brilliant. Right. Life's a hobby. At some time, he's going to start throwing up. He'll let us know when he's ready to go, and he will throw up the first question for the quiz tonight. Like I say, the quiz tonight is just for fun. Kit and Killer won the last one. We're going to start doing this on a regular basis. So the idea is, I think Life's a Hobby's got a series of questions to get your brains working, and then what we'll do, we'll switch it out to some of you other guys. If you've thought of a question and that, then you can throw the question out there, and as accurately as we can, first person that answers correctly will, be up there. Now, I won't know the answer to a lot of these questions, so all I'm going to rely on is if you post a question, you're the one that's going to have to call the person that answered first as, that's the answer. When you do that, if I catch it in time, I will note it, and we'll try and work out who our winner for tonight is. Just for the fun of it.
Yeah. Stealth, Kaz is feeling a little bit under the weather at the moment. So
she's a bit poorly.
You're having to put up with Chef Santa.
So 7 questions, fastest in. Okay, question 1. Which European country is famous for its windmills and tulips?
Outdoors. Apprentice there.
Yeah, that's Kiwi. Well done, Kiwi.
Was that Kiwi? Where is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Outdoors Apprentice, yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Mac. Don't do it to me, Mac. That's a laugh.
Bonus question: how many penguins in Ireland? Why did Owens limit?
Question 2: which country is known as the land of the rising sun?
Well, that's Roxford.
Who was first on that one? Roxford, yeah. Well done, Roxford. Well done, mate.
I'll point out Holland.
Has anybody else that got Japan? Well done, Max. Don't do it to me, Mac.
All right, that's a point. That's a little razor point there that Holland isn't a country. No one put Denmark, did they? Netherlands, sorry, that was.
True.
Outdoors put Netherlands down.
Yeah, we'll take Holland. I mean,
what's the national
question
sport
3: the national sport of Canada.
Oh, that's easy. Scotland is the land of miserable weather. Yep.
Beaver hunting, lacrosse. I think Benny's got that, and hockey. Now I need to double check that. Is it hockey or is it lacrosse?
Oh, yeah, because that's quite big in Canada, isn't it?
Sam, drugs.
Life's Hobby says Kit and Killer is correct.
It's Kit and Killer, was it? It was lacrosse, was it?
Yeah.
Lacrosse. So it was lacrosse. Well done, Kit and Killer. Being woke. Question 4: if you're looking for insects to eat, which ones should you avoid? A, big ones. B, ugly ones. C, bright ones. Yeah, well done, Kit and Killer. We'll take that. Bright ones.
Call 3, Lee said.
Close ones. Oh, Mac. Oh,
He's got it in for the Welsh.
oh yeah,
hasn't he?
Bushcraft Sussex. That's because Mac spent so many months being chased around Welsh hills.
Wow.
Question 5. Why should you try to avoid sleeping directly on the ground? A, to avoid bugs. B, to keep from losing body heat. C, to eliminate disease. Well done, Benny. Oh. Leave a shelf all three, yeah? Go with that. D, not to activate your sciatica. Yeah. I like that as an alternative. Good alternative, not to activate sciatica. Okay, next one is a tricky, so we'll take the best answer. Oh, all right. Okay.
Oh, dear.
All right. Okie doke. A talking point one, Nick. Okay.
It's a bit of Bob Road.
How do you calculate if thunder and lightning storm is coming towards you or going away?
Ooh. I always do the 1/1000 trick. See how many miles.
Yeah. 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 Count the seconds between the thunder and lightning. Is what? Yorkshire Outdoor Survival said counting. Jess got it pretty right. I'll give it to Sam because counting is correct. Yeah. What you want to do, you want to count the time between the flash and the rumble. And at the end of the day, remembering that the speed of light, speed of sound vary or are very, very different. Okay, so you're looking at 700 odd miles an hour as opposed to many thousands of miles an hour. So if the seconds are getting shorter between the flash and the rumble, you know that it's coming towards you. And if they're getting further apart, then you know it's going away. Also, the other thing to do is to look for Frank Smiggins, who was the guy most hit by lightning ever, who used to walk around permanently shaking like that. And they used to say that if you see him running for his house, you knew there was a thunderstorm coming.
If your hair stands up too late. We ain't got any hair, Lee.
If your hair stands up, it's too late. Yeah, flash to bang. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll give that one to Sam. It certainly does. Owen, it certainly does. You're right there. The time in seconds equals miles. It's not quite a precise science depending on the barometric pressure and the amount of humidity in the air because it actually slows the sound down. It's a very, very small amount. So it's only over a greater distance that it would have more effect, but it does slow the sound down. Yeah, and as Mac found out, the other thing is don't take it as a given. Now, I've always taught as a rule of thumb that the safe distance from a thunderstorm is 25 miles. Okay, if I know there's a storm within 25 miles of me, I'm taking precautions. I'm starting to look for shelter. You can have lightning 25, 50 miles away from the thunderstorm. So again, it's just because you can see the thunderstorm in the distance, don't think that's where the lightning is. It can be right over you. Right, last question. Okie dokie. Right, last question. Question 7. What's the biggest skill you should have when lost in the wild? A. How to hide from wild animals. B. How to start a fire. C. How to create a shelter. D. How to find food.
Oh,
You swine.
we don't have to worry about hiding from wild animals in this country.
Yeah. Yeah. I would go with shelter. I would say Jess. I'd call that one for Jess. Right. Always prioritise your shelter over fire. Fire isn't always necessary, but shelter nearly always is. Shelter protects you from heat as well as cold. So again, in most survival situations, your first rule of thumb is go for the shelter. If you can get shelter and get out of that environment, you might not need a fire to survive. Once you've got the shelter, if you need it, then you could progress to fire. It's one of those things that it is environment dependent. But again, shelter. When we teach survival skills, we always teach first comes shelter, then comes fire or water, depending which one you're going to need. If you're in a hot environment and it's going to remain hot, then your water is going to be your next thing. Once you source your water, then you can go to fire, obviously to use to purify your water.
Depends where you are. It's always pissing down here.
Yeah. And as Jess says, you also need to be able to shelter your fire when the conditions are rough.
So what you're saying is, Stealth, that really you don't need any of them, you just need a canoe.
A canoe. Yep, go with that. So that's our 7 questions, our initial 7 questions. So what I'm looking for is really 3 more questions to round it up to 10. First 3 to stick a question up. Bear in mind you're responsible for the answer as well. We'll take those. I'll put those over to you guys.
Where do Welsh rabbits hide?
I knew it was going to break down to that. Cheers, Lee.
I'm broken.
Cardiff. In Scotland.
Name the highest Munro in Scotland.
Oh, Jess, that's a good question. We'll take Jess's question there as the next question. Name the highest of the Munros in Scotland.
Because of Ben Nevis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm getting.
Is that right?
Yeah, it is. Well done. We're going to have a reigning champion here. You know that, don't you? So we're looking for another question. If somebody else has got another question for me, let's have another question. No, it's all got a bit quiet.
Name the most southerly Munro in Scotland. What's a pregnant goldfish called?
I've no idea what a pregnant goldfish is called. Didn't think goldfish got pregnant. I thought it laid eggs.
Well, yeah.
Real question.
Yeah, the goldfish one.
Real question. All right. Goldfish don't get pregnant. They lay eggs. I'll answer that one.
It's very true. They do. And then they get fertilised by the male on the bottom.
Yeah. That's Sprats, you fool. Mum. Right, so come on, guys, look for the most southerly Munro in Scotland. Anybody got it? Munros are a range of hills in Scotland, or mountains in Scotland. Owen's got it. Well done, Owen. There we go. So we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, one more question. What's the highest of the 3 peaks in Yorkshire? Right, so last question. Which is the highest of the 3 peaks in Yorkshire? That one was put up by Sam. Somebody can give me that one. Why not?
Too hard, this quiz.
Sorry, Stealth.
When we go to a mother's funeral and meets a man of dreams but doesn't get his name, radio tells him no one
What did tomorrow's headlines? I'm just waiting for somebody to answer Sam's question, which is the highest. What's the highest of the 3 peaks in Yorkshire? Oh, is that right, Sam? Has Jess got it? Well done, yes. Well done. Right. So I'll total these up whilst Jace is just reading through the comments. And
I was just looking at Outdoor Apprentice's little a conundrum there. Can anyone answer that one?
All right, there we go. So our winner tonight was Kitten Killer, our reigning champion, closely followed by Jess. Watch it, Kitten Killer. Jess is catching up. It seems to me that the champions are the Scots. The Scots seem to be the leading country at the moment. So there we go. Have a think about it, guys. We'll do this again next week. Those of you that got questions, go away, have a think. Think about a question. Find a question. See if you can find that impossible answer. Well done, guys. Just a bit of fun. Whernside. Okie doke. Or what? Whernside. Okie doke. Well, hey, Ken. Oh, Jess is going to deal with face. She's going to be back next week. Yeah.
All the jocks apart from me.
Yeah, I think Kitten Killer for the quiz master next week. That's it, Kitten. As you're the champion, I want seven questions and 7 answers for next week's show. Basically, done about the same sort of time, about 8:45. Yeah, see what you can come up with. And then the rest of you, like I say, go away, have a think about it. What questions can you come up with? And if there's enough, we might even go on to a 15-rounder. That'd
be a tiebreaker at some point, isn't there?
Right, TJ, just ask you a question.
Oh, let's have a look.
A basic doe.
Yeah, that's 4 legs. They don't have antlers usually. That's the bucks that have antlers.
I think your that one you do with the yogurt's probably the best one for the.
No,
the
you asked doe,
D-O-E.
Okay?
Oh, right.
They have 4 legs, a head,
you
no
know
antlers.
What he's asking.
A doe, a deer. No, it depends what you want it for. What sort of doe?
something easy to do on a campfire.
Oh, on a campfire.
Something like a bannock, I would
yeah.
have thought.
So, like a flatbread one, all I use is plain flour, yogurt, and then you can put. I like coriander. I love coriander, so I throw handfuls of chopped coriander into it, make it into your dough, portion it out, flat skillet, and then just cook it on the top of that. If you saw the last camp video, that was what I was making there. It was just, it's very easy to do.
Don't need a rising agent.
Don't need a rising agent. It's a lovely bread. It's better than, your bannock bread where it's just generally water and flour. It's got a lot lighter, nice flavour.
Yeah. So again, basically, and that's just mix that till it makes a dough, isn't it? It's a dough that combines and will hold the shape, basically. There you go. Simple as that. Easy peasy as that. And I'll tell you what, that's one you can do at home. Practice it at home. Get the skillet, get the pan on, get your natural yogurt, get your flour, mix it, work it out for yourself, get the feel for it, have a go at a couple, turn around, walk into the missus and go, do you fancy some hot bread? Look at that, look what I just made. That's how I do it. That's how I learned to do bannocks, was pretty much at home, hot skillet, try out a couple of recipes, find the one that worked for me, and then one day I sat there and thought, what happens if I throw a bit of sugar into it at the last minute? What happens if... And I found I could caramelise the sugar on the bottom, almost like a lardy cake, which makes a nice sweet bannock. And you just play with it at home. Yeah. Then when you go out to the woods, you've got a better idea of quantities. A lot of it's feel, isn't it? It's actually, especially if you're doing it in a bag and you're working the dough, you can overwork it. So
you can. Yeah, absolutely.
You get the feel for it and then just flattening it out. Remain calm. It's only the tip of the iceberg. Let us jokes. Derek, I've got stitches in, people. What did the tomato say to the lettuce? Remain calm. It's only the tip of the iceberg.
Jess,
TJ, it's DOUGH, I believe, isn't it?
What's that?
Dough, as in dough for bread.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jess, yes, I'll be having a go at that myself. Actually, it's not something I've tried, but I'm going to give it a go. So bear with us, and we'll have a look, have a go together. I have done it myself. The only tips I can give you there is one: make sure it's not too dense. Whatever you're cooking, if you're going to do a big joint of meat, then you want a real slow ember fire, not too rapid a heat. You want the clay. When I was doing it for doing game, you should literally put half an inch to an inch of clay. Yeah. But a top tip is in the top before you finish it, just make a small hole with a straw. Yeah. Because whatever you're going to put in there is going to vent moisture and build pressure. So it allows the steam to escape, but the clay still traps enough in. And also make sure, if you're cooking a joint of meat or a bit of meat, make sure you wrap it in some greaseproof or something, because you don't want the clay contaminating your food. Top tip of the week from Mickey: get yourself a meat thermometer. All right, set the meat thermometer before you start. Okay, because one of the hardest things with cooking in clay is knowing what you has actually cooked. It's a very difficult thing to monitor and maintain because you've got no visual on it at all. Which is really good, actually, because I was just about to say, they're not cheap, I will give them that, but you can buy the probes that actually go into the meat. Yeah. And you can just, you can app it to your phone. I've got an app on my phone, so you app it to your phone and you can keep a check on what's going on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, don't use clay from rivers. Ideally, again, because you've got silt build up and then you've got toxic metals and things like that. I'd go to a proper, just an arts and crafts sort of shop and get clay from them. I'll look out for that video, Jess. If you want to do a similar thing, and it's what I would recommend to you, is soaked newspaper. Yeah, you can do it with soaked newspaper. Yeah, it's wrapping it in wet newspapers works very, very well. Especially if you're doing fish, works really nice for fish.
on the embers and that. So again, it's one of those things. And what you're doing is just substituting leaves for paper. And again, you can use leaves, but you got to be careful what leaves you use. So you obviously don't want toxic plants, but things like nettle work quite well for that when they're very, very, very young. And also impart a little bit of flavour, a little bit of iron.
Burdock leaves, yeah.
Burdock leaves, yeah.
Anything to just create a barrier between the food and whatever you're cooking it's in.
You're trying to trap the steam, really, aren't you? Especially with things like fish.
Yeah.
Because the steam's what's going to cook it.
I mean, for the fish, the best one is the salt crust.
Yeah.
It's always brilliant.
Yeah. Excellent, Jess. Yeah, we look forward to seeing it.
Okay, thanks, Jess. See you soon. Jess is off.
Jess, have a stunning week, my love. Take care. Have fun. Look after yourself. You're off to work, are you? Right. Okie doke. Well, have a good shift.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Have fun. Look forward to seeing you. Yeah. Berry game steamed fish. Yeah. Again, burying game, cooking in hangies and that. It's a great method. It's an absolute stunning way of cooking, especially large pieces of meat.
Again, it's something else I want to try come the summertime. Is some
do love it.
A bit of a pit cooking.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Good idea, bushcraft Sussex. I like that. Add the breadcrumbs and keep adding them. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, flu will, TJ. It will knock you for six, mate. There's nothing worse than influenza. It will absolutely destroy it. Poor old Stealth's been going through that just lately. He's had a bad dose of it. In actual fact, I hope he's feeling better now. Flu is just a destroyer of people, and again, a lot of people poo-poo it and knock it, and invariably, I find that's people that have never actually had it. They've had severe colds or bad colds, but influenza itself as an infection is an absolute stopper. It will stop you dead. The test for flu was passed on to me by a doctor and a medic years ago, and he said it's quite simple. If you were laying in your bed and you looked out the window, and right outside the door, literally just a few feet away, there's 20 quid laying on the pavement, and you could not be asked to go and get it, you've got flu.
Well,
he said it will literally, if you've got flu,
you won't want to move. You don't want to do anything.
Well, the medic actually said to me, he said, I've known people that fouled themselves in their bed because they feel that bad they physically could not move. And it's something you've got to take serious as well. If you get flu or you think somebody's got flu, lots of fluids, keep them stable, keep them warm, watch the temperature, don't let them overheat, and likewise, don't let them get chilled. You've got to try and keep their body at that balance. It's a difficult thing to do.
How do you make vinegar?
From cider.
Yeah.
From cider. Vinegar is a cider that has been left for the acidity to build in it.
Yep.
It is, mate, the Romans used to use vinegar for everything, from sterilising wounds, cauterising wounds, because the acidity in the vinegar, not only will it kill bacteria and infections, but it deadens off the material, and it will kill nerve endings as well.
It's good for cleaning. It's just sanitising in general.
Sanitising in general, yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant stuff, vinegar. Yeah. Simon, how you doing? Not a lot, mate. We're just having a general natter tonight. Jason's here. If you've got any food-based questions, tips, ideas you wanted to run by him, he's here tonight. Kaz is feeling a bit off colour, so she's crashed out downstairs on the sofa. But yeah, we've got it tonight.
Well, salt. Making salt. Well, you have to be in an area where you have the right sort of salt, really. You can make it with our local sea. Yeah. But it is. You
might find bits floating in it.
Yeah, you might find stuff. You can't refine it properly, really.
Yeah.
But is just basically seawater. You just dry it out,
boil it off. Yeah,
boil it off.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work for what you'd get from it.
But again, as Kettenkill says, it's an overlooked survival aid. Yes, it is, because again, salt sterilises. So salt can be used to clean wounds, clean injuries. Your body requires sodium or salt as a mineral resource. So again, when we used to give people in hot climates salt tablets, well, I still do give them salt tablets, because again, those essential minerals you're losing in sweat, so you're trying to replace them. Now, one of the misnomers there is because we always refer to it as a salt tablet, people think it's just salt. It's not. It contained magnesium, potassium. It contained the salts. So it's a lot of what we would call today isotonic. Okay, isotonics is really just a flash way of saying, hey, look, we've looked into what the body actually loses over an hour of sweat, and these are the salts that they're losing. And they are essential vitamins and minerals. So that's what helps all your muscles, your brain signals, the whole lot to flash off and fire. But salt itself, yes, use it to preserve food, clean wounds, sterilise things. Just don't use it as drinking water.
TJ, I will have a look at the dates in April. I won't be long back from Bali then, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
I'll do my best.
Exactly that, Kit Killer. Electrolytes, balances the body, does everything you need to do.
Did Kaz drift a buggy in the snow? No, because it didn't hang around long enough.
She was fuming. She was fuming this morning when she got up and the snow had gone. Fuming. Angry cat.
Was she really?
She was really looking to getting out there doing some donuts.
Willow was the funniest last night.
Oh, Willow. Okay, so Willow saw his first snow last night. He ran out in the garden and went, what the hell is this? It's great. It's great. Until a few flakes melted on his back and he went, hang on, that's actually rain. It's hard rain. I'm not having this. And he comes straight back in, looked at me and he went,
no, I go back out there.
No. It doesn't work like that. He was soaked. Hi, Benny. No, what problem, mate?
Just, it depends on the snow. He's been snowed in. He can't get to work.
Benny, if you can't get to work, you can't get to work, mate. I used to be in the same situation myself. Been a couple of times over the year. I used to work for, or the organisation I used to work for, we used to get snow, and quite often, because I had a 4x4, I'd make it in. Because I'm stupid enough to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning when there's no traffic and want to go play in it like the big kid I am. However, was a couple of times where I would get in and they'd go, oh, you're the only one that's turned up, nobody else has turned up. And go, yeah, because they've got 2-wheel drive cars, or they might live at the bottom of a hill or something like that, or they don't feel happy and safe enough to be driving these conditions. If, to be honest with you, no boss is going to turn around to you if your motor's wrecked trying to get into work in snow and go, really sorry about it, mate, I'll buy you another car.
Well, the thing is, this is it. If you did try and make it to work and you had an accident, they'll go, oh, well, you should have come to work then. But you don't turn up, well, why aren't you at work?
Yeah, and the insurance company, the insurance companies love snow. Oh, sorry, mate, not covered for that. Shouldn't have been driving in those conditions. There was a weather warning put out. There's one tip I give people in the UK with insurance companies. If you ever see that thing on the news that says, motorists are advised not to drive unless absolutely necessary, just bear in mind, unless you can prove it was absolutely necessary, i.e. medical emergency, your insurance company is going to go, no, mate, not covered.
Did you not hear the warning?
Yeah, there was warnings put out on the TV not to drive, and they will do their best to argue out of it, because that's what they'll do. They don't want to spend money that they don't have to. Yeah, exactly that. In fact, any of you that are in snow conditions, if you can't get out, it's just not worth it. Just turn around to your boss and go, if you want me in, you come and pick me up.
Yeah, what's it then? I bet you'll turn around and go, nah, don't worry about it.
I know an employer, Matt. Yeah, thumbs up to you, mate. Full respect there, because that's one of the things you used to do in the winter with all your guys. If a guy got on you and said, I can't get in, Matt, because of the conditions, you turn around and go, right, fine, no problem, we'll sort transport out for you. You're happy to come in if we sort transport. And he never forced anybody, but he would say to him, we'll get the ops manager to come and get you, because he's an idiot with a 4x4 and he likes being out in the snow. So again, that's that. It's fine for employers to moan about it. Not answering that one, Lee.
No, I'm saying that one, Lee.
Very funny, very good, but not answering it. Oh, mate, Brooksfoot, yeah, bosses and insurance companies, they can be swines, but as they do.
Yeah, John.
Yeah,
John. Work from home.
Yeah, John, how's it work over there in the States? So I don't know how it works in the States, because over here in the UK, and I've been watching a lot of the old cops stuff lately and the rest of it, and it only seems certain places they ask for insurance, but here in the UK, to if you're stopped by the police, the legal requirements at bare minimum you must have is a valid driving license, a full insurance policy, minimum of third-party foreign theft, i.e., pays out on somebody else if they're injured or the car is stolen. We have a fully comp system as well, which covers everything. And an MOT, which is a yearly vehicle safety check undertaken by the ministry. So that's run at garages and that are licensed to do it. So you've got to have those three items as a minimum.
Do you know there's a lot of places in America now that have stopped their version of the MOT?
Is there?
Yeah, they don't do it. I was watching someone I follow on the YouTube, someone else, and they were looking at the British MOT and they go, nope, we don't have any of that. They've stopped it in our area.
Well, road.
Yeah.
Although we did have I was watching one with a sovereign citizen in the UK, which did make me laugh, because he turned around and he started firing off things from the American Constitution. And the British police officer just looked at him and he said, "Look, mate, it's quite simple. You're here. You're in the UK. This road is not a public space. This is actually owned by the Highways Authority. And the Highways Authority require you to have a driving licence, insurance, and an MOT to drive on it." He said, so, yeah, your right to travel, your freedom to travel, yes, you have that, but that refers to Shanks's pony. Yeah, about the same. Yeah, so, yeah, that's all. It's just so I know for when I come over there, because obviously I'm going to have to get my international licence sorted out again. Another international licence. You do get a safety inspection. Okay.
Yeah, Kit and Killer, mine has got another 3 years. My Range Rover's got 3 years. And then, yep, I don't have to worry about tax or any of that malarkey.
Yep. Oh, yes, tax. That was the other thing I didn't mention, wasn't it? Yeah. Taxation on the vehicle. So in the UK, we pay a yearly road tax excise, I believe it's called, or something like that. It's basically a road tax, which used to be quite simple in the old days. It was one price for one size, one price for another size. Now it's all based on emissions, and you can be like Jason and driving something like an older Range Rover, which could have been a V8.
See you later, last hobby.
And pay next to nothing. You could have a new ultra emissions vehicle and pay nothing. But if you're anywhere in the middle,
life's hobbies off.
Owen, have a great day, mate. Have a great evening. Thank you very much for the help with the quiz tonight. Much appreciated. My love to your family. Give the dogs a pet and a cuddle for me. Have a great one.
But even though I won't need to have the vehicle checked, I will still have it checked, because it's peace of mind, it's safety for myself.
Well, that was the other thing is so for a lot of people that think, oh, if I get a classic vehicle, I'm not covered. I don't have to worry about it. I had a motorcycle 2-3 years ago that fell into that bracket. Now I had to register it as a classic. So I did it through all the process of the age of the vehicle. They wanted to know every detail. You had to be an original or a like-for-like engine, chassis numbers. The vehicle had to be at least 3/4 original to classify as classic. When it was classified as classic, it meant that I didn't have to MOT it any longer, and it didn't have to have road tax, and I can have classic insurance on it, which is cheaper again. Brilliant, says I. Brilliant. But as the DVLA, which is our Ministry of Roads, pointed out to me, I would get stopped all the time. And I thought, pardon? And they said, yeah, you'll get stopped all the time, not just by the police, but by VOSA. And VOSA are empowered to stop vehicles that are down as classic because there is no MOT. You are still required by law to keep the vehicle in a roadworthy condition. It has to be to the same condition as an MOT. However, they accept that because it's an older vehicle, the brake tests might not quite match a modern brake test. The emissions, it's not going to come into it, and so forth and so forth and so forth. However, that vehicle must still be kept in good condition, and they can go over it at the side of the road. And as they pointed out to me, if the vehicle is found to be in an unroadworthy condition, they will throw the book at you. Okay. So, like for Jason's Range Rover, yes, he loses that thing of having to have an MOT, but as he says, he'll still put it through. One, because it's peace of mind. If he then has an accident later in the year and somebody says, points finger and goes, yeah, but you're driving an old classic vehicle, no MOT on it, no. He can sit there and go, well, actually, no. It is MOT, it's roadworthy, it's up to standard, and I can prove it's to standard. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, kick and killer.
Yearly personal property tax on the car. It was 100% paid for. Home property taxes are separate. 100% paid for. Taxation is theft. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Yeah, most taxation is theft. You pay tax on absolutely everything in this world. You pay tax on your earnings, tax on what you spend, what's left of your earnings upon. You work hard, buy something to own it, to pay tax on it, because you've worked hard. Yeah. I think somebody once turned around to me and said, you know what, out of every £100 you earn, it's probably only a fiver that goes in your pocket generally by the time you paid all the taxes and all the duties and all the rest of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Ken. I'd still MOT. It just takes a bit of the pressure off. That's the thing. And it's the fact that you don't have to worry about the road tax anymore. Because let's face it, that's the one I really begrudge, especially here in the UK, paying road tax that's supposed to go into maintaining the roads in good condition.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't happen, does it?
Yeah. Yeah, TJ, I literally back in October, I signed off my HGV. Done with that. They sent me a lovely letter saying, "Oh, your 10-year medical's due. Do you want to go and get it? If you wish to keep your licenses and that." So I got rid of. I literally wrote back to them and said no requirement for my HGV 1 or 2, and I've lost those off my license. Lucky enough, I had to go and update my license at the same time as well. Got it back, found that yes, although they've taken my HGV 1 and 2 off, I'm still entitled to drive a 7.5 ton. Crazy, isn't it?
Well, that's something, John. You know, out in the States, do they, when you get your driving license, it's just your driving license? Like over here, if you're of a certain age, you get what's called grandfather rights. Grandfather rights. So we are after a certain age, they stopped it, but we are of that age, so we can drive with license plates sometimes, buses, track vehicles, tractors, all sorts of things that are on our license, and we can drive vehicles up to 7.5 ton. Now, is it the same in the States, or you have to do a test for everything that you?
Yeah, because young people now have to do a test for literally everything, don't they? Yeah. I mean, full motorcycle.
Although they stopped it on the trailers, didn't they?
Yeah.
They allowed them because of COVID.
Yeah.
They didn't have enough people. We lost loads of people. They let them have their trailer license back.
Motorcycle entitlement now for somebody who's under the age of 21, I believe, it's about 6 different tests they've got to go through to be able to ride a motorcycle of any CC. Whereas when I started riding bikes,
we didn't bother with it at all. 16
to 17, 50cc. You didn't take your tests in, you rode that on L plates. 17, you could ride up to 250cc. You took a test which took 20 minutes. It was a ride around the block, and then you could ride whatever you wanted. Now it's test upon test upon test. They're trying to ban bikes, but they're trying to do it on the sly. Yeah, Outdoors Apprentice. Yeah, I found that as well. So There's quite a few people I've met that said they've lost bits off their license.
Yeah.
I've still got it. I don't know whether it's because I've had HGVs and that they've turned around and left the 7.5 ton clause on it.
Killer, there's a motorcycle test.
Don't. I took my motorcycle. The reason I know all about the motorcycle test laws is, bear in mind, I've been riding a motorcycle since the age of 15. I shouldn't really admit this, really, should I?
Not on live camera.
Not on live camera.
I'm exactly the same boat as me.
I took my test when I was in my early 50s. I won't say I definitely did not ride all sorts of motorcycles. I'd never had big bikes up until that point. No. I was to hold it back.
Yeah, I was very good. I never rode anything that I wasn't allowed to
So
ride.
different classes of license by weight, type, motorcycle licenses, a qualification marked on the license. All right.
Yeah, so they have to do. So they drive up to a certain weight.
Yeah.
And then they have to do all other tests after that.
Outdoors Apprentice only did the test last year, Mick. Killer did his in 81. Yeah, I wish I'd done mine when I was young, but the problem for me was I just got roped into 3 years paying for a 250cc bike, only to have the government change the law and reduce it to 125cc limit. And bloody Honda wouldn't take the bike back, wouldn't have it off me. It was worthless. They were like, no, don't want to know. You signed up for 3 years, you've got to pay for that. So the bike that I was spending most of my wages to pay for on a weekly basis, that I couldn't sell, couldn't get rid of, and I just literally went, oh, do you know what?
I'm going to ride it.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's... and I will say, it probably actually made me a better rider, to be honest with you. I probably rode a lot more sensible. I mean, I was always looking over my shoulder. Don't get me wrong, bikes were always legal. They were always well maintained, always taxed, MOT. They were always insured. Yes, I know it's not managing. But I was very, very careful. Not that I'd ever endorse anybody doing that. The reason that I changed my attitude was purely simply the realisation that I was being a complete and utter total twat about it. And for the sake of doing the test meant I didn't have to look over my shoulder ever again. So I went and did it. And yeah, that was a relief. It was quite funny that the first day's training, because I had to do a week's training, and the first day's training, the bloke literally, we pulled up back at the training centre and he went, pretty much just follow along at the back.
Yeah, same here.
You've ridden before, haven't you?
Yeah.
No. And we started talking about bikes and that. And he was, oh, yeah, this Harley, that Harley. Oh, right, yeah, that Kawasaki, this is it. And like, oh, yeah, you've been riding a while, haven't you? And I explained to him the story, and he went, yeah, I can't condone it, but I can understand it.
Same here, pretty much. When I done my tests, which, like yourself, later on in life, had to do it. But the guy, after I'd been out on the road, he turned around and said, yeah, you've ridden before, haven't you? Yeah, I have. Yeah, okay. Right, well, I don't know what to do with you now. He says, you're too fast for the other guys that haven't never ridden before, because they're pooting along at sort of like 25 mile an hour, and I'm, Progressing. That's the word they like to use. You're progressing down the road.
This is the thing. It's just top tip to any of you. If you're ever stopped by a police officer for travelling slightly quicker than you should, just remember the correct term, as used by the police for doing it properly, is progressing through the traffic.
Yep.
Wasn't a speeding officer. I was progressing through the traffic.
They will allow you that as long as you're doing it. As long as you're doing it safely.
Me and Jace went and did a course with, it was Surrey Police, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Took us out for the day. They took us out for the day on our bikes, and they ran a course for us on the road where we rode with police officers. And they taught you basically safe techniques. They weren't teaching you to speed, don't get me wrong. They weren't teaching you speed. They were looking at how motorcyclists position themselves and manoeuvre, and were trying to give tips from the advanced motorcycling techniques and saying to us, look, position yourself here on bends, position yourself there on bends. And most of us that have been riding for years already knew a lot of this stuff. But things did come up, like we were saying to them, well, we were passing the traffic down there. And they were like, yeah, but it was safe to do so. And you were using the opposite side of the road. You weren't causing obstruction. You weren't taking a risk. It was safe to do so. And it was quite interesting when they were saying to us, you're progressing through traffic. No police officer expects a motorcycle to sit at them. In actual fact, he sees it as suspicious if the bike is sat behind the traffic at a safe distance, being all cautious. It's like, why is he being so careful? But they expect bikes to progress. And as long as you're not like, on the back wheel 30 mile an hour of the speed limit, they haven't got a problem.
Yeah, so those of you who don't ride bikes, you see bikers go past you and you're like, oh, it's what we're taught. It's what we're trained to do.
Yeah.
Even the police would rather see us at the front of traffic than mixed up in amongst it.
Yeah.
Because it's safer for us.
Yeah, it's yeah, have that gap round you, have that room round you. Getting on like that. You're giving an ultimatum by his dad. Pass your test. He meant my car test. I just followed orders and done the bike test.
No, well done.
Yeah. Yeah. Never say yes when they ask you a question. No. Exactly, that's an admission of guilt. It's an admission of guilt. It's I never admit your guilt. You know, it's yeah. It's all right, Matt.
Yeah.
Derek, I went to donate my kidney yesterday. They called me a good person. I went in with 2 more today. They called the police. Oh, I made my poor man laugh. I'm in pain. Nice.
Did you see that John Kennedy done his license on a suicide shift?
Yeah. Foot clutch, tank shift. Started on first kick, trips that you'll pass. Yeah. Yeah, Rooksfoot. Yeah, besides overtaking car drivers, it balances out the times you have hailstones piling up in your crutch.
Oh God,
yeah.
That.
It's like I stopped about 25 years ago bothering with waterproofs. I actually come one day. I got back. I had a bell staff set that I'd spent a fortune on, and I got back, took it off, and my crutch was soaked. Right, and I just come to the realization that I'd far rather turn up somewhere looking like a drowned rat and dry out than take the waterproofs off, walk in and look like I'd frightened myself on the journey home. It was just, yeah.
Absolutely.
Stockholding day, yeah. Oh, mate. Time and go, yeah. Do you know what? They were proper bites, weren't they? And that was proper. Can you pat your head and rub your tongue at the same time?
Yeah. Mad.
Dry bags, yeah, good dry bags. Can't go wrong with a good dry bag. Compression sacks over dry bags. Compression sacks for me, I don't see as something to keep things dry. I always think they're going to fail. So what I tend to do is compression sacks to make things small, and dry bags all the way. The dry bags, the technology there has become quite cheap and affordable these days. So, I mean, let's face it, I go back to an era when it was bin bags. Bin bag in your Bergen, all your kit in your bin bag, roll the bin bag up. All your small stuff went in carrier bags, rolled them up. Yeah, it was a bag up. But now we got all these dry bags and the dry bag technology. There's so many
Ziploc bags.
Yeah, so much out there. It's worth investing in. Yeah, kayak bags. Yeah. Right. Have a great week, mate. Have a great week. Keep warm and dry, brother. It was good to see your dogs out in the snow. That made me chuckle. Yeah. Plastic bags.
Spark advancer on the left grip. Cool, that's going back a bit, John, that is.
Derek, England has no official kidney bank, but it does have a Liverpool.
Oh,
He's got the dad jokes going tonight.
Had he just? Oh dear.
Spark advance. Oh, blimey, you're going back a bit now.
Yeah,
I remember driving a car with a spark advance on it, right in the middle of the steering wheel. You had to advance the spark, retard the spark when you wanted to accelerate, and that when you wanted to start it. It was like starting an old 1920s airplane. Contact.
Yeah.
Want to get out the front with the cranking handle.
Ignition. Magneto.
I was watching a video the other day, and it was actually I think it was the bearded mechanic, and he was saying, it's like people today, if you want a theft-proof motorcycle, buy a motorcycle without an electric start, because 90% of the youngsters today couldn't figure out a kickstart.
They wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah. TJ, I'll have a look back through it, mate. I'll have a look back through it. I remember I did look at the video and I did say to Kaz what the tree was, but I'll have to have a look back through it. Sorry, brother. No, Sticks is never gone. Sticks is always there in the background, watching, listening.
He doesn't say much, does he?
Yeah.
He's one of those, just sits there. Every now and then you get a little...
Simon, I could nick it. Yeah. He's pottering around in the background. It's a good old shooting term, that, to potter.
Yeah.
Like to potter and to take the pot shot.
All right.
Right. Yeah, and that goes back to shotguns, and it's the early days of shotguns. Right, it was to put food in the pot. That's what the shotgun was meant for. So when you were going out, you were taking a pot shot, i.e., you were just putting something on the table to eat. Yeah. And then you got the term to go pottering. So when you talk about stalking terms now, you have people that get permission to go pottering, which is to walk around with a shotgun.
Taking the pot shot.
Yeah. And normally with pot shots, you're looking at what you call vermin game. So squirrels, rabbits and things like that. So on some estates where you wouldn't be allowed to touch other species like the pheasants and the game birds or the game animals, you would be getting a pottering permission off them to go around taking that sort of thing. Hi, FU2. Hope the weather... Oh,
easy.
Hi, FU2. Hope the weather's good where you are today. Yeah, potter around. It was a bimble round, just seeing what you could find that you have permission to take. So usually it was, like I say, it was things like rabbits, pigeons, things like that. It was the pests and vermin species to potter about. Okay, is to bimble around with no set plan, pattern, looking for something you can put on the table for tea. Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing what gets done with mixed life.
Oh, yeah. So it'd be different if Kaz was here. A nod's as good as a wink to a blind bat. It certainly is. We're good. Just single-digit wind chills. Bit tepid. Yeah. Oh, Kiwi's got me on the big TV. Hello, Kiwi. Hi to Kiwi's family. Hi, how are you all doing? Hope everything is fantastic with you lot. Hope you all had an excellent Christmas. Didn't eat too much. Had a great New Year's party. Enjoyed yourselves and looking forward to moving for the year. TJ, all legal. Excellent, mate. Lee, take it easy, mate. Have a good night. Look after yourself.
Take it easy, Lee.
Benny, I'm the same, mate. I can't sit still. This last couple of weeks has been absolute hell, not just for me, but more for Caroline, because she's had one frustrated Mick. Even poor Jason's see, I'm like chomping at the bit. And people going,
you really need to watch how you word things sometimes.
yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Yeah, it's I just want to get outside to do things, but again, it's I keep just drop that on the floor. I keep yeah, I'm just driving people up the wall. Don't like sitting still. Mine's been reminding him to do videos. Yes, keep reminding him. He needs to do more videos. Come on, Kiwi. Let the side down, mate. Observation post, Charlie. Good to see you, brother. TJ, not a
see you
problem.
later, mate.
In actual fact, yeah, we've got about 10 minutes to go, so we'll start winding it up in a minute. We normally knock it on the head after about 2 hours. So we'll start winding it up. I'll allow you guys to say your good nights to one another and all the rest of it. Thank you, Jace, for joining me tonight. Keep me company.
No problem.
What can I say? Kaz will be back next week. Other than that, yeah, love to everybody.
Absolutely.
I'm going to read through the comments now. So it's
about time, TJ.
I've got to pay Kaz more because I'm realising how much
she does a lot when she's out here. I'm trying to keep up with it as well. Yeah. It's not easy sometimes.
Jason.
Yeah, he knows that now. He's got it.
Yeah. Tentative exploration of the outside. Oh, I've been tentative.
Yeah, I am Roxford. I'm in my chef whites.
Yeah, he's literally come straight from work tonight. Cheers, Simon. You take it easy, mate.
See you later.
Lake effect snow. I've been hearing a lot about lake effect snow. Do you know what? That's something I don't mind experiencing for myself.
What's that? Well, the wind, I take it, blows the water up and it freezes.
Where you got the great or the bigger lakes.
Yeah.
We don't have anything like that here in the UK. But where you got the huge non-saltwater lakes, basically the wind chill as it comes across it picks up the moisture off it and creates immense dumps of snow. I mean, absolutely fucking amazing snowfall. Cheers, Charlie. Got a lot of snow in the Midwest. Hiya, Jason. How you doing up there in Canada? What's the weather like? Yeah, you guys getting on? We had
plenty of snow up there.
Yeah, we had our yearly snowfall last night. It lasted an hour. Epic. Like we said right at the beginning tonight, there were traffic jams, toilet rolls run out within 15 minutes, people panic buying. Cheers, mate. You've not eaten your humble pie yet.
Oh, God, John, yes, I'm sorry.
No, that was kidding.
I know, but it should be to John, shouldn't it, really? Because he's the one that...
Yeah.
You know, yes, it's the biscuits and gravy. Yeah, as I said, not, I wouldn't turn it... Someone offered it to me, I wouldn't turn it down.
And I likes it.
It's still a bloody scone.
I knew I likes it. Because I've had it in the past.
Exactly.
And it's something I've always said to people. You get people over here, don't get it. But I tell you what, it's nice. It's a good, filling, honest meal.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. If you've got nothing else in the fridge,
brilliant. Yeah. It's
cheers, King Killer.
Yeah, so any of you want to know how to make biscuits and gravy, dive over to Jason's channel, Muddy Ruts, or there's a link on my channel. If you go onto my channel, have a look, you'll see there's a link on there to Jace at Muddy Ruts. Go over and have a look. It's a great, I tell you what, it's worth having a practice at and having a go at, because as a survival food, it's a great recipe. It's a great simple recipe that the pioneers carried with them when they travelled across the states. This is where it all originated from. Simple ingredients: flour, pork. Making a meal out of it. It's well worth learning. Well worth learning.
Oh.
Be safe, be prepared. Yeah. Yeah, FU2 crew. Yeah, pray for you guys too. Yeah, and for all my friends out there in places that are going to have more extreme weather this year, be safe, guys. Remember your preps, stock up, don't take risks. Please don't take risks. I don't want to hear of anybody being harmed or hurt. And look after yourselves. You know we're always here. If in the event anybody's in an emergency situation, has no other form of contact, you know the email address by now, Hampshire Outdoors and Hampshire Outdoors at mail.com. Send me an email, and I will try and organise something from here if it means contacting your local emergency services.
T Outdoors is off. See you later, T.
T, take it easy, mate. Have a great week. Back to work tomorrow. Take it easy, mate. All right, and all the best for tomorrow. Yeah, they got old fashioned oil heater set up, ready to go. I like that. Do you know what? Guys are organised. Yeah, get it right. Start studying next week's quiz. Yeah. Yeah, Jason, it is going well. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm trying not to laugh, can't make sudden movements, but the mobility is coming back. I don't need any assistance. I can stand up. I can do squats. Well, not all the way down, but I'm sort of working the core and that. Walking wise, I'm still short distances, but it's getting easier and easier every day. The thing is not to try and push it too hard until it's had a chance to heal up properly. But yeah, it's good, better, as these things do. Night, Benny. Have a great day tomorrow, mate. If you do have to go in, go easy. Yeah, hard. I'll be getting the noodles ordered. Don't you worry. That Sam, remember? Yeah, you're in on the challenge, and whoever else I've got in on the challenge as well. Mate. Yeah. 10 press ups. Not yet, mate. Not yet. Won't be long though. All right. I'm just going to use the loo quick. I'm so hang on, but I've got to use the loo.
He's gone. See, this is the other problem. Since he's had his operation, his bladder isn't the same as what it used to be. It's all about age now. It's going downhill. I can say what I like because he's not here at the moment, so it's brilliant. If you notice, his hair's falling out more than normal. you hear that, Mitch? Nothing. I can't hear. That's good.
I know you're taking them there,
Betty, good night. I think we've already said that, haven't we? Hey. I'm not taking the Mickey. Not at all. As if I'd do that, right, mate.
Oh, would you do that? Would you do that? Yeah, it's just, yeah. I walk like a penguin at the moment. I sort of waddle. I think Caroline thinks it's quite sweet. We're practicing it.
Mickey used to be taller too. Oh, dear.
I haven't developed a Welsh accent, have I?
Yeah, you haven't.
Oh.
Bird feeder today.
Yeah, Jason's got pinched, didn't it?
Yeah,
stole his bird feeder.
Snicks's did.
Right. Yeah, I think that's it. 1:58 and 24 seconds. Guys, look, thank you for all the support. Kaz sends a love. It's been a great week. Feeling better, progressing well. I'll keep you all posted on what's happening. I'll let you know how we're getting on. Get out there, have your fun. If you can't get out because of the weather conditions, make the most of being indoors. Snuggle up with those that you love. Hunker down. Make the most of it. If you've got kids, obviously get out in the garden, charge around like a mad thing. Even if you haven't got kids, get out in the garden, charge around like a mad thing. Enjoy yourselves, stay safe, and above all, love those you do, forgive those you don't. And as always, may peace and light be upon you all. Thank you for all the good wishes. And have an awesome week wherever you are in this fantastic world of ours. Stay safe, guys. Have your adventures. Have fun. This is Mickey from Hampshire Outdoors and Survival, and Jason from
Muddy Ruts.
Wishing you well. Take care. Stay
Good
safe.
night, all.
Night
Take
all.
care.